And if it is possible, gently close your eyes and follow this sound, please. Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhas. Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhas. Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhas. So dear Dhamma friends, before we start our practice, let's get into see how to be very clear with ourselves and what we're doing. So when it comes to this meditation session, we mainly practice two mental cultures, samatha mental culture and vipassana mental culture, tranquilized meditation and insight meditation, chitta bhavana and panya bhavana. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, we give a mental object and we have a choice and we stay with the choice. And wherever the mind go here and there, and try to focus your mind to the mental object and be with it, and then little by little, you will see the mind able to settle down with it. One thing that you have to understand, even though we say the mind is like a monkey jumping here and there, and mind is like a water and is settled down itself. So it has no structure, it has no character. And that's why we give different information. So only thing is, according to whatever available, the mind settle down according to that. So as example, if you start to think, mind go with it. And if you start to settle down, mind going to settle down with it. So whatever the intention, mind follow that intention. Remember that. It has a advantage, especially for us, because whatever happened in the past, if in this very moment, if you decide to be calm, relax, and the mind going to be like that. And if you don't care about it, and if you allow that to whatever happen, or if you allow your mind to go here and there, it will go. So then just remember, when you have the clear intention, mind going to follow that intention. So when we develop the tranquility meditation, we have a choice. We call it primary mental object, and we stay with it. And then the mind going to follow that choice. So then when you come to inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area, so don't try to inhale or exhale yourself. Don't try to count. Don't try to hold. Just completely allow your inhalation to exhalation to happen itself. Don't interfere with it. So don't have a helicoptering consciousness. Helicoptering consciousness means kind of like a helicoptering parenting, like that. The helicoptering parenting is a mother, father is always like a helicopter, it's like a police, and they go always behind children, interfering. Whatever they try to do, mother and the father, the interfering to children. Don't do this way, don't do that way. Even go to school, the mother take the child and they sit the child on the chair, and then the water, food, and everything keep around them, and books and everything. They keep like that. They don't allow child to do that. So wherever they go, they do it on behalf of the love. But it's not going to work for the child. You destroy. So same thing, we have that behavior for the consciousness also. So mentally, whatever the mental object that we have, or mostly when it comes to meditation, you abuse your awareness with interfering to it. As example, when you observe, just observe. Why are you going to think about it? Why are you going to bring other thoughts and put on it? And why you try to maintain or change it? Why you can't allow just to little bit settle down? So like that. So conventional meditation, observe the breathing as it is. When the inhalation happens, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And then observe the beginning, the middle, and the end of the inhalation and exhalation, entire process. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. All these details there. Only thing is, try to see it very clearly. It is not, you no need to find anything, you no need to do anything. It already there. Only thing is, whatever come to you, just recognize. It may not going to come by order, but whatever the details come, just recognize. That is what important. And then slowly and release that and go to the vipassana. Once the mind calm down, relax, comfortable, and we have very limited time, so that's why. But when you practice yourself, you can go a little bit deeper. And mainly you can go to the real vipassana level of once the mind come to the jhana or the absorption. That means where 100% your awareness come to the mental object. And then from there, slowly you start to observe the vipassana level of analytical meditation. So mainly in tranquility meditation, you have a choice. That is your inhalation, exhalation. In vipassana level, remember, don't have a choice. Be free from choice. Another thing is, be aware. That is it. That's it. No, don't get into any doing part. Just be aware. So in four foundation of this meditation, in four foundations, there are kaya anupassana, contemplating the body. Just simply be, can you aware the behavior of the body. And chittanupassana, contemplating the mind, thoughts. Vedananupassana, contemplating the feelings. Without getting any feelings or whatever the feelings arise, observing deeply and recognizing. And Dhammanupassana, the four elements, behavior of the four elements in our body, and all this blood circular system, nerve system, digestive system, this kind of things, how naturally things happen inside us, and aging, getting sick, this kind of things. So observing and seeing it yourself. So when it comes to vipassana, another meaning is just see. When you see, you will end the action, not doing anything. When you're acting, you cannot see. So the most advanced level of performance in your human existence is without interfering with something, just simply seeing. If you can do that, remember that that is something that you have to appreciate yourself. Without adding anything or interfering to something, if you're able to just see, simply seeing is one of the highest performance of your human awareness or the consciousness. So that is kind of like vipassana, deeply observing, just see it. In tranquility state, you have a choice. With that choice, you see things as it is. In the vipassana level, you come to a point without choice. You just simply see or observe that whatever you saw as it is, and you recognize in there how it come to be as it is. So that is where you're going to recognize this all the nature inherent within this existence. So here we observe ourselves, not outside any kind of objects. So then you will recognize the very nature and the very existence, behavior of you. That is that is why we call self-realization. So get into that path, little by little, just what you need. Just simply be empty. Just be simply empty. And vipassana in conventional life, we always follow details. We bound to details. But in tranquility state, you start to come to a point, your awareness become very clear, and your awareness not bound to anything from past or the future. And then when you go to the vipassana level, you're not bound to even the viewpoint or to the awareness itself. You become free from the subject also. So that is the process this goes. So how we going to do? In the beginning, we follow the inhalation, exhalation in tranquility state. From there today, we go to Chittanupassana. Because this Chittanupassana, if you are able to practice a little bit, and then you will see it give great benefit that for all the three foundations also. And in Chittanupassana, whatever the thoughts arise, without reacting to that thought, without putting label on it, without categorizing, without interfering to that thought, especially without adding any thoughts to that thought, just see it. Just see it. Simply just see that thought. And then you will see that thought itself will disappear. And then another thought comes. Then you see that thought. Then it will go, another thought comes. Sometimes when this thought is arise, you see some other lot of thoughts. Just move and see the next one. And don't repeat. Don't pull back. Don't bring back whatever you saw. So whatever available, just observe. And then you will see this thought arise just itself without any any effort or without any intention, thought arise. And then it go away itself. Just see this nature. And then also remember, while you observing the thoughts, and go deeper and see the very behavior, arising, disappearing, arising, changing, arising, changing. And some thoughts has power to bring the memory, not all the thoughts. Some thoughts, suddenly thought come, and then you see that it is a 10 years, 20 years back memory. So don't go with it. Only thing is recognize that, and then you will see, don't keep following it. Don't keep thinking about it, and just recognize, because once you recognize it itself, it's going to go away. If you keep thinking, adding, and start to bring thoughts, and then you go with it. And once you see it's not going to happen like that. So then just see the thoughts, how it arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing. And that's where you're going to recognize these thoughts is kind of meaningless. These thoughts itself has no reason. It arises. But in the moment once we hold, grasping, that is where we're going to give meanings. So if you don't grasp, hold, if you don't anchor into it, if you don't jump into it, it will go away. Once you see that, that will help you to understand the observer also itself kind of like thoughts. The observer also has the same behavior. So you see the thoughts as a kind of like a reflection of the consciousness. And that is where you recognizing the very nature of you also. And once you recognize that nature within yourself, you can see all the minds around you. You're going to see, you're going to go the beyond this skin, this head, inside you recognizing what is happening. And that is where though you're not going to become kind of like sad, worry, unhappy regarding what other people say or do. You're not going to put label on it. You're not going to categorize it, divide. Why? Because now you recognizing this happen without any reason. Sometimes things happen, but according to the moment, that sometimes we put a reason on it. So that is why finally, when it come to the vipassana level, that experience will take you to free you from all the thoughts. So let's practice a little bit. And your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line. Be comfortable with your posture. Scan head to toes 3 times and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sense, your thoughts without reacting to it. So in the beginning, we start with the observing inhalation, exhalation. So before that, bring your attention to your body. Observe the lower part of your body. Just recognize the sensation. Don't react to it. Don't interfere with it. And your lower back. And your upper back and shoulders. And your arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Your chest and your abdominal muscles. And your neck and head. And your whole body muscles. And observe all body as one. So bring your attention to your inhalation and exhalation, and deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, and find the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And stay with the inhalation, exhalation, and if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Bring attention to your thoughts and observe the thoughts. Whatever come to your mind, just be aware. Simply see it. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. Cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe, and as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. Little by little expand the capacity. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. to all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. So, dear Dhamma friends, in day-to-day life, we all look for happiness and satisfaction. So, and the freedom. So, looking for happiness, satisfaction, freedom, and to get out of the sorrow, we do actions. So, there are three kinds of actions: bodily action, verbal action, mental actions. So, the very purpose of your doing, as I mentioned, to get out of the sorrow, worry, fear, unhappiness, like that. And also you look for the freedom or the happiness. So then if you look very carefully, whatever the action you do, because when it comes to action, so it's the moment of acting, present moment of acting is your action. You cannot do anything, go to past or the future. In this very moment, whatever you do bodily, verbally or mentally, that is your action. So, in this very moment, whatever you do, if that action bound to something as a culture, tradition, patterns, or if whatever you do with your bodily, verbally and mentally action has a connection to something, it is not an action. Because the action itself, so what you're doing in this very moment, it cannot bound to something. So then, name of the living in day-to-day life, So whatever the things you do morning to night, if it is a part of, if it is a part of something, that what you're doing is not a real action. Because it bound by something. So then it become a kind of reaction or repetition. So when it come to reaction or the repetition, that action cannot find your purpose. So that's why mostly whatever we do, whatever the actions we do, even though we have the purpose to find the happiness, the most of the actions in our life end up with the sorrow, unhappiness, fear, unsatisfaction. So how it is possible? Because your intention was to find the happiness, satisfaction, freedom. And you did all the action thinking about that, and why you end up with losing the freedom, becoming unhappy and with the sorrow. Because even though you had the intention to find the happiness or the freedom, you did not the action. You did something related to another somebody's idea or the culture or the tradition or the religion or something. So you use their action and then it became a reaction. And as a result of that, you lose again and again and again and again your freedom. So this is what the samsara. Because when it comes to a real action, that action cannot bring any kind of reaction. There is no reaction for that action. But mostly we do the actions and there are reactions. Cause, conditions, and effect. That's why when the enlightened masters, they do the actions, but there is no karma for them. They're not going to generate karma through their actions. How possible? Why they can do it, the same action, they don't generate any karma or reaction, but why we, whatever we do, how it is going to become cause, conditions, and the effect or the related to the karma, how it can bring the result related to the karma. Why we cannot do that? Because when the enlightened masters perform their actions not bound to anything related to past or the ideas or the culture or the religion. It's just the action. But ourselves, when we do an action, we do it as a part of the history or the culture or the tradition or the religion or the whatever we believe, we go with that. So see, that itself, that's why we cannot get out of this. So then get into that in the beginning, you cannot just cut this. And one time Buddha mentioned Pabasara midam bhikkhave chitta, the newly born babies, their mind is vivid, very clear, crystal clear and shining. So see that when newly born baby, that child is not bound to any culture, tradition, or the believing or following. So whatever the child, that whatever that child does, that child is free from conditions. But ourselves, even for a child, we accept it. But when the adults start to behave in a certain, why sometimes we don't accept it? Because we bound by the culture, traditions, or the believings, or the some kind of methods and the patterns. So once your mind bound to that patterns or the believings or the culture, you are not free. So if you are not free, you cannot find the free. Even you like it, you cannot find the freedom. It seems like your hand already dirty, and then like maybe kind of like a ink or something. So whatever you touch, what happening, it come with that. The same thing when your mind is not free, you bound to something. So then even though you like something, and whatever you touch, it's going to get that color. So then meditation is a way that we clean it. There is a method in the beginning, remember. So we cannot deny this everything, we cannot reject this everything. So for a conventional life, we have to accept this all. So nothing wrong with anything. But conventional life we go with the common sense. So that is very necessary. But without stuck with the common sense, can you transform yourself? Can you without holding or harboring your mind and settle down your life there? Can you little bit look forward? So to look forward, the very first thing that you have to do, you have to become free from what you bound as ideas. So the very meaning of the idea itself, not to bound, the very meaning of the idea to see. That is the Greek meaning when it comes to idea, see. But even that ourselves, we don't have ideas to see. We have ideas to bound. Why this come like this way? Why it happened to us like this way? Because we have no ability to deal with ourselves. That is the core reason. We have no ability to deal with ourselves. That's why we bound to ideas that the history or the past or the tradition, culture. So like that way. Another thing is from the childhood and others push us to do like that way. So even though we look for freedom, we became without freedom. We grow up without freedom. As example, it like this. There are two children in a family, two brothers. So then as parents, sometimes the elder brother is very, good and doing everything and as the way the parents want. And then sometimes the younger brother is not good like the elder one. So then sometimes parents say, behave like your elder brother. Be like your elder brother. So because we not going to accept this, the younger child as separate entity or separate person, we try to modify him to same like the elder one. Why we do that? Because that's how we learn. We always learn to become kind of like a looking somebody and following somebody. And that is where we lose us. That is where you lose your freedom. Because you start to look somebody and you start to go with something. And that is, it's coming generation to generation, generation to generation. And it is a habitual pattern. It's a habitual pattern is not even within the entire human consciousness is like that. So entire world like that. It is very difficult. So then it is not difficult. You have to be aware to break it down and go out of it. Because the world conditioned by that way and to become nice and like everybody. So when you become like everybody, you're not free in conventional way. So in the beginning, then you have to rescue yourself. You have to have a mission. The meditation is a kind of like that rescue mission. You kind of like finding the freedom from this inner cell or inner these boundaries. So then why that you didn't have the ability to handle yourself? Because you used to follow others. Another thing is, it came by the families, the culture and tradition and that way. Another thing is ourselves, we didn't have any intention to look inside us. We always wandering and looking to outside world. So then what we have to do? And start to look a little bit inside us. Let the world to be same like that way, and just you have power and you have that freedom to look yourself with little bit within you. And the meditation is a way that you start to see. So in that way, the very first thing, you have to develop ability to see things as it is. Because when you see things as it is, the best action that you can do is seeing. And if you can see without bringing the sorrow, without bringing the unhappiness, without bringing kind of like a result, that is the art of seeing. Because if you see something, listen this very carefully, if you see something, anything, it doesn't matter whatever, the flower or any material, even this pen, if you see this, out of that seeing, if there is a reaction come, you didn't see the pen. Because your action, that seeing itself, bound to something. So the very nature of the real action, it itself just action, and it not going to bring any kind of reaction. That's the difficult part, because we addicted to gain reaction, result. And mostly if there is no reaction, people don't want to do that. But without doing that way, without come to a point to perform actions and to not to gain reaction, you cannot end this. So then yourself to start to little bit, at least 5 minutes per day. Can you just be and don't look for any reactions. So whatever the things that you have to do, you just do it without waiting for a reaction. And 5 minutes, even if you can meditate, just to see, that's it. Not to attain to enlightenment, not to attain to calmness, not to look for the tranquility state. That is where you gain the tranquility state. But if you sit to find the tranquility state, you're not going to, your mind going to be kind of like a roller coaster. So that is the key point you have to understand. And so little bit, if you able to settle down, and in that very moment, you come to a point to see things as it is. And you're not going to go against, or you're not going to go towards that. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Just try 5 minutes. And sometimes in that 5 minutes, someday you keep doing that. Maybe that 5 minutes one day going to decide your life. But still, In that 5 minutes, stay with that, your practice. Even you die, stay with it. You're going to get the ultimate bliss of the Nibbana. You're going to get. But if you don't practice it, you don't get this art of just the seeing, just the being. And we always trying to do something to gain something. That is itself becoming. If you are go with this becoming cause, condition and effect, it's never going to end. Sometimes we do things and we don't see that how ignorance that it in deeper inside is. But we have the compassion, we have the intention to do, and we have the ideas, but it never going to take us to the real freedom. You look for the freedom, but you don't see. You work for it inside the prison. So that is what this journey itself keep going. So then you come to a point, you start to see things as it is. You don't interfere with it. It doesn't matter. Your husband, wife, children, friends and family, just 5 minutes. Be free from all. Be completely free. And even don't bound to whatever the repetitions. Just simply observe, simply see. Even you can see the nature, you can see whatever around you, just see. Even you can watch the TV, just see it. You don't comment, you don't go with it, and you don't talk inside you, and you're not interfering. You just see. And when you're able to get into that, once you come to that, what is happening? Your mind now come to a point to act. What is that act? Seeing. That seeing, not bringing any reaction. That is the real action. When the mind come to the real action, the mind become more clear and become more stronger. With that clear and a stronger mind, your seeing going to become more deep and strong and sharp. And that is where you're going to see how whatever that you observe or see, you're going to see how it come to be as it is. That is the wisdom of the vipassana. That is the end of this every sense. So we go with the common sense. It's very necessary. But there is a moment come when you really see without reacting, you come to a point, no sense. And then that is the real, you become nonsense. Nonsense means no sense. So enlightenment means no sense. So the sense means that whatever eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, grasping and understanding and go with action, reaction, result. And everybody do this. When it come to that and it become, your sense become, when everybody follow, it become common sense. That is what people like. Nonsense people don't like. But the enlightened means the real nonsense. But that means you come to the point really that to see very clearly without disturbing to it, even your mind, without bounding to any method or the pattern or the repetition or anything. That is where you really experience what is the mind. And that seeing itself liberate you from your own mind. That is the beauty. But we are afraid. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We like to appreciate and we go with the comparisons, and we like to go with others. Why? Because another thing is we have no power to stand ourselves and go with it. We like the comments. We like validations from others. We like the opinions from others. What does that mean? You are in the samsara. You go with the common sense. So that is why we cannot get into the freedom, or we cannot get into the happiness, that's why whatever we do, we going to end up with the sorrow. That's why. So try yourself, 5 minutes. It's a beautiful way that you can experience your life. But sometimes the fear can come, but still if you keep going with the practice, little by little, you come to a point, simply just you see, you without choice, you be aware. And that is the real power of your mind, seeing without conditions. Simply seeing without depending from anything. Just try. There was a king. In that kingdom, then suddenly that had a news. There was a rain going to come. If anybody drink this rainy water, that person going to become mad. And then, so the king was ready. See, king determined, I am not going to drink this. And then some people, or then they had the organizations, some people gathered, and the community sanghas, they all gathered and try little bit how it going to affect. Some are going to be monitored, so like this. And the scientists came out and with all their tools, and they're going to test this water and this. So somehow what happened, the rain came, and the king protected himself, and with the good discipline not to do that. And then what happened, all other people in the kingdom somehow start to try little bit, try little bit, try little bit. And the whole kingdom became crazy. And the whole kingdom became crazy. Then what happened? That whole kingdom became common and normal for them. And they all going to claim the king as a mad person. And the king had no choice. What the king did, king told, bring that rainwater. And he also drank. And then he also got mad, and everybody became common. And everybody was happy. So this is what happened. Why we say somebody, when we say nonsense, it's not really that we see that what that person tried to say or do, or why that person thinks. Mostly we say it is nonsense because it doesn't match with us. So then remember yourself, try to experience this real action. That action is seeing yourself without adding anything, just simply see, be aware. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbaroko vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchutu. Bless you.